Welcome to Secrets of Sarmanath, everybody. I apologize for the late start. We were waiting on Millman, and he's not here. So, we're going to forge ahead with the four of you, and we'll see what happens with Sandbar later. I will go ahead and delete Sandbar's tile from the map here. So, last stream, we left off in the cave of the kind of griffins and hippogriffs. You explored around there trying to find what you could, including a magical bow that Sambar has disappeared with somewhere in the dwarven cave. I bet he got sick from the booze. That must be it. He's off retching in a corner somewhere. You guys spent a lot of time shopping in Sarmanath, getting yourselves equipped and ready to go for your future adventures, before Gorik finally decided to let you know, hey, there's a dwarven ruin over here that I would really like to explore. So, the rest of you decided, yeah, it's a great idea, and made your way down the shaft from the elemental cave that you explored quite some time ago. Once there, you found an empty and deserted dwarven hall that was as silent as could be, even dust hanging on the ground 1,000 years in the making. As you explored, you found most of it completely desolate, even going as far as to thaumaturgy, a loud noise to try to draw whatever creatures you could to you. Eventually you decided to purify some dwarven ale and descended down lower into the depths, trying to protect yourself from the potential lack of oxygen and strange gases.
Don't remind us about the dwarven ale
in the hall. Finally arriving down into the lower castes, where entombment takes place. During a night of stay in here before the ale, Gorik receives a dream from Ungral, showing anger towards the small little hands disturbing the tombs of the dead. And so you have descended down and find yourselves in the entombment hall, this large, vast, echoing chamber underneath the dwarven cities. Here, you find yourself in a long hallway, backlit softly in dim light from these amber crystals growing in the dwarven amber hall. Each of these little things here that line the hallways are statues of old dwarven ancestors in large poses, holding whatever crafting tools or hammers or weaponry that might be associated with their house. Each of them are representatives of the 6 major houses of the Amber Hold. The walls of this are adorned once again with those kind of growing crystals and patterns, shedding a soft amber light, and also just a soft mosaic showing scenes of these houses, right? Their crests, the major founding members of them, and you can see down this long hallway a kind of opening into a T shape down in front of you, and this is where we will pick up.
This is a hall, not a bridge, right?
Yeah, so you descended down a bridge and have arrived here at the mouth of this hall.
Okay. I was thinking it was a bridge, and I was going to be like, I have dark vision. What do I see over the sides of the bridge? But it's a hallway.
It's
I
a
see
hallway. Correct.
Walls. That's what I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fair. You said we heard the sounds of something approaching, didn't we, last time?
Yes, so as you listen closely, as you've descended down, the silence of the hall has given way, and you hear soft pattering of feet echoing along this long hallway back up to you. If you listen closely and take a moment, you hear 2 like scraping sounds, like digging maybe, or mining sounds maybe. As a dwarf, you might recognize the sound of stone and metal colliding. And this too echoes back up through you, echoes back up to you through this hallway.
Well, should we continue forwards, or?
Might as well. We're already here.
Let's see. Do I have any? I think I have any spells that last an especially long or exciting time for protecting us. So. What did I? Didn't we just wake up?
Yes, you have awoken.
I believe so.
We just
Greg, you're muted.
Yes, you have awoken and
Okay.
spent some time to purify a last cask of dwarven ale, drink it down, and have descended down into this lower portion of the dwarven hall.
All right. So I'm gonna unmark that spell slot because I'm pretty sure I cast Prayer of Healing yesterday, but I don't think I've cast it yet
That
today.
is correct. The only
Yeah.
spell that has been cast this day has been Tom's Purify Food and Drink.
Okay, cool. I will mark that. I will mark that spell as being available. Not that's gonna screw us over later. Otherwise,
Janlar's gonna cast Mage Armor, and then you said we see like murals on the walls of like family crests.
Yes. So behind each of these statues, right, is a dwarven statue. Behind them on the walls are soft mosaics etched into the stone that show the crest of the family of the dwarf in question. These are the heads, the original founding heads of the 6 major dwarven families of this hall, and the mosaics behind them show their family crest and like a kind of soft scene behind it.
Grave Mantle. Do any of these family crests seem familiar to you? Do you recognize any of them?
do they?
No. You did not grow up in the Amber Hall.
Okay.
These are the halls themselves in Dwarven heritage are kind of self-sustained, right? You might know the founders of your halls, and you could probably guess very easily that that's what these people are, but their names and their families are foreign to you.
Are not familiar. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I am not from this hall, and the founding families tend to be quite specific to the halls that they found. None of them migrated to my hold. Or if they did not bear the same importance.
Do any of them have like family words, or are they just all pictures?
Yes, there could be family words on there, along with the crests. They're all written in Old Dwarvish.
They say fire and blood.
A Lannister always pays his
Yeah,
debts.
exactly. Are we coming into like
Winter is coming.
Earthquakes are coming.
Earthquakes are coming, yeah.
Only you can stop tunnel collapses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Report piracy to the such and such family.
Yeah, I guess
Dwarven occupational health and safety.
if the sound doesn't come toward us, so do we want to move forward?
Yeah, I guess if they're not approaching, then we don't have to like prepare for attack or anything. At least I think. Where's my player's handbook? Scale mail gives you disadvantage on stealth checks, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah.
Yes, heavy armor will give you disadvantage on stealth checks.
Yeah, I don't think scale's heavy. I think it's heavy medium, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it does. Where's no? Can I just no? I'm trying to look up armor.
No.
I guess I can just do it this way. I don't want to.
Scale mail counts as medium armor, but gives you disadvantage on.
Okay, yeah. So, I'll Gorik will be like, we can advance, but I don't expect they won't notice us for very long.
Well,
So perhaps we should be ready to defend ourselves if whatever is down here is hostile.
we shouldn't throw away our chances just yet. I've been known to sneak on occasion, and Tom starts to squat down a little bit.
I've been known to sneak on occasion.
He's got 2 wine bottles on his belt that are just clanking together as he tries to
They
sneak.
don't even have to because they don't have to clank together. There could just be one, and it's bouncing off all the splint mail.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get down, and I'll try and stealth my way through this hallway here. I'll try and.
All right. You have control of your token, so move it as you wish. And you are trying to stealth, so please give
I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace on us.
Ooh,
I mean, that'll
very
help.
Nice. Yes.
So
That'll definitely
we'll
help.
see if you roll a nat one. It might
How does that one work in 5e? Is that just does that only help with tracks, or does it help with sneaking as well?
Plus
So
10
it is-
stealth checks.
It is like, as long as you stay within 30 feet of me, you have a plus 10 bonus to your stealth checks that are dex based.
Is it a plus
And
10
you
or
can't-
is it advantage?
It's a plus 10.
It's a plus
and you,
10.
okay.
Wow.
and you
I've been
can't
running that
be
wrong
trapped.
forever.
I still have disadvantage, but now I have a plus 10.
Okay.
Right, yeah, you have disadvantage with a plus
So
10.
Rose,
plus
we
whatever
haven't
your action.
seen you cast Pass Without Trace before. What does this look like?
So what happens is, as long as you walk within 30 feet of me, the ground is just covered in moss.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
My feet is just this thick layer of moss that like masks footsteps because you walk very quietly on it.
I like it. Yes, you see the ground in a radius around Rose just sprout this soft moss that is about an inch thick and just dampens your footsteps as you begin to creep forward. So anyone advancing, please just give me that stealth check and try to stay within 30 feet of Rose if you want to get your plus 10.
I'll try and stay about 20 feet behind Rose as Rose advances, because Goric knows,
Yeah.
even with a plus 10, which he has, he's not going to be very quiet, so he'll let the quieter people go first. But I will try and pace the party.
All right.
Tom is very quiet. He's very sneaky. He's going to take the front. Look at that. Very, very quiet.
Very quiet, Tom. Very nice.
Mine is plus 10 on top, so mine is a 17.
17. Very nice.
I think you are at disadvantage there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Let's do that again then.
Probably won't roll lower, but you could roll a 1.
Right, yeah. No, yeah. 14's my lower.
Okay, so you are all fairly sneaky. You begin creeping forward on the moss covered floor, doing your best not to make any noise. You advance down this hallway here.
Where do we want to start? At the end of the bridge? Like here somewhere?
Let's get to the corner so I can look around.
All right. As you get to the corner of said bridge, you guys see that it branches off in two directions. One is this hallway here leading off to the left, and one off to the right here. There is a pile of rubble down this leftmost branch of the hall that you can see, as if the tunnel has been partially collapsed in some way, while no such rubble exists on the right-hand side. Here across the branch, there's an archway, right, on both the left and the right, with an old dwarven script written across it. Goric, it's kind of like reading Chaucer. It's old. It's not your given dwarven language, but you can see the names of the halls here, and you recognize that in the place of order, there are two greater families in the halls immediately to your right, this direction, and to your left, as you look at this corner. This is the home of a lesser house, a single lesser house. As you get here, you hear the echoing of the scraping and walking a little bit louder as it echoes back through from this direction.
The rubble side, right?
No, from this
No?
direction.
Sorry, are you pinging on the map? Because I'm not
Yes,
seeing it.
from this direction.
Oh, okay. It blends in with the background because it's black.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I think Tom, hearing it come, kind of like turns back to the group and says like, or he doesn't say anything. He like starts gesturing. He says,
What just
and then
happened?
he starts I hope they got the message. He starts going down the hall.
Big smile into the right direction.
All right, which hall are you going down, Tom?
I'm going to start sneaking down this way. 'cause that's
All
where
right, you enter through the hall towards the greater houses. As you turn down this hallway, you see it end in a fork. There are two large dwarven statues immediately in front of you that you can see. One on the right with a house crest, one on the left with a different house crest. They're both standing there holding their hammers to their chests, looking very regal. A very long and obvious tripwire is tied between them, almost hastily, in silver. And behind them, you can see a small bit of rubble and what appears to be a dead goblin hiding there. Or not hiding, but just like crushed underneath the rubble.
Okay.
And the hallway splits off once again towards either house to the left and right.
Okay, the very obvious tripwire makes me think that it's the good old put down the obvious trap so they don't notice the non-obvious trap trick. All the city boys know that trick. So Tom is gonna keep an eye out here and like scan ahead of him as he's moving. We forgot our 10-foot pole.
Sure.
But he's gonna like very carefully scan the ground ahead of him, moving forward, trying to make sure
you're making a good show of it, scanning each tile, tapping on the walls, looking for obvious traps. Please go ahead and make a perception check for me.
All right, I'm very perceptive. I actually have proficiency in perception. That's how perceptive.
Wow.
So it's a +6. Oh my god, I'm so perceptive.
All right. What's your passive?
My passive is gonna be 16.
Okay. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary other than this very obvious tripwire laced between these statues and the rubble behind them.
All right. And I'm gonna keep on moving.
Too bad nobody. Oh no, never mind. I was about to say it's too bad nobody passed the trial umbral, and then I remembered that Goric doesn't know anything about that. It's too bad I don't have that kind of out of character knowledge.
Do we still hear the noises coming from over here?
Yes.
Am I able to get a general impression?
Your passive perception is high enough that you hear the noises coming most loudly from this hall over here to the right.
Okay. So I'm gonna like get up along this wall then, and
Okay.
kind of like start sliding along the wall.
Okay.
And like the general trajectory, I want to like go along the wall here, then here. Then I want to peek around the corner.
Okay.
But I'm keeping up my good show of like looking down and making sure I'm not stepping onto an obvious pressure plate or tripwire as I move.
Perfect. And you're trying to stay within your 30 feet of Rose, right? So it's slow going, waiting for her to kind of make the moss continue off forward with you. Go ahead and take yourself to that corner there, and we will reveal what there is to reveal, eh?
Right here.
So, you peek around this corner, and you can see, if I can reveal areas, you can see a hallway leading forward into a small garage. There's a leftmost turn to the hallway, and as you peer around, you can see a dwarven statue there. These little carve-outs here all contain like heirlooms of dead men, and you can see as you've gotten closer, these little cutouts here have like heirlooms and a single tomb in each. They seem to be very important tombs. All of them seem to be ransacked. The actual crypts are open, and there are small holes, especially now that you're right next to the wall. You can see there's small holes about half the height of a human dug into them, kind of honeycombing them back and forth, especially on this other side of the far wall away from you. Over here. There are more of them on this side of the wall. As you peer around here, you can hear the scraping and kind of digging sounds coming from this room over here. Peeking through the room, you peer in and see a group of goblinoid creatures crouched over, and all seem to be in the process of digging into a open crypt. They're going through it, pulling out bones, and some of them are taking small hammers and pickaxes to the bottom of the crypt, as if trying to dig underneath it.
Okay. I'm gonna turn back to Goric and say, Goric, you said we're delivering righteous vengeance on these creatures, right?
That is correct.
Okay. I'm gonna peek around the corner. I'm just gonna snap my fingers and send a fireball down to that room.
Whoa! All right.
that escalate
Fireball,
quickly?
indeed. All of them will make a deck save at disadvantage as they did not hear you coming down this hall, too engrossed in whatever it is that they are doing.
The base damage is 26.
Absolutely. So there are 5 of them. So the first one definitely fails. The second one has a 9. I'm assuming that fails. 7. 7. And an 8. All of them take 26 damage. And the silence of this room is just completely destroyed as a roaring ball of fire erupts from Tom's fingertips, racing down the hall. You can smell burning ozone wafting up as it roars down a whooshing sound. Fire erupts in a massive ball.
We all die, and
and they all die.
Yeah. There's a backdraft and...
All right. So, like, listening after silence is like resettled. Do I hear any sounds coming from like another hallway at this point? Like, are there like confused sounds coming from somewhere else?
You do indeed hear sounds echoing back to you from here. Just in general, there's a loud clamor in the background as sounds kind of echo back into the echo back from that hall back to you.
Okay. I kind of say, all right, it looks like we're gonna have more company. We should probably find a defensible position. Trying to listen in, trying to like focus in. Does it sound like there's anything coming from over this way?
From the other hallway behind you?
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
No.
So I'm thinking, do we want to set up like right here then? I'm kind of very quickly trying to confer with the party. Should we set up right here? Have one person watching our back and the rest of us kind of bottleneck them into this small hallway?
Sure, why not?
That's not a bad place to try and hold, yeah.
All right.
All right. So
Sambar's off eating a corpse somewhere.
Sambar no longer hungers for corpses. Sambar is just probably feeling the effects of that sacramental, like.
That's right. We completely
dwarven
cured
ale.
him. I forgot we hadn't just pseudo cured him.
We did some cool stuff to cure him. We earned that cure.
I think that was the episode I wasn't here for.
By the way, he's carrying my backpack, but I would not have let him leave with the spellbook in it. So, now I'm very encumbered with that. Like carrying 2 spellbooks, like trying to like.
Fair enough. So the 4 of you hunker down in this hallway. How long do you wait here?
I think Tom might actually take up the front here and like stay here and like watch and see if anyone comes to investigate this place.
Okay. How long do you watch?
I'll also make a note that I'm glancing down this hallway on occasion too to make sure I'm not blind to my other side. But
Speaking of being blind, how is this hallway lit?
Oh, that's a good point.
Soft,
The amber
glowing
crystals?
amber crystals. Yes.
Okay, so there is some light.
Everything in this is basically dim light.
Okay.
It is treated as dim light for the purposes of mechanical like combat and stuff.
Okay.
How long do you wait in this hallway?
Well, it's got to be at least a minute or two, right?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wait. I would guess like 2 or 3 minutes. And if nothing, like if it sounds like things are getting closer, I'll keep waiting. But if it just kind of
Actually, after a moment of clamor, the hallway grows completely quiet and still. And after 2 minutes, you are just sitting here in a quiet and empty hallway sounding.
All right, Tom's gonna look back to the group and go. And he's gonna wait for everyone to catch up and start heading down the hallway.
The stream is not quite far enough behind the live video yet that, like, when I don't have Zoom above Roll20, I hear Tom say, "Tom goes," and I'm waiting for him to say something, and then I realize, oh, he's pantomiming something. I need to make sure I've got the Zoom window open. And then I, like, catch the very tail end, and I go, oh, it's fine, the stream will be behind. And I click over to the stream, and I catch exactly the same tail end. And so all I got was Tom going,
That's pretty much all you need to know.
I don't think you would have learned anything else from any of the other signs that I was making.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in range of him.
Okay.
Like, probably about 20 feet. Hold on, if I'm 30 feet, then 15 feet, behind Tom.
All right. I'm gonna start creeping down this hallway then, going back to the stealth routine. I'm gonna, assuming nothing happens on the way, I'm gonna get up to this corner. I'm gonna very carefully poke around, expecting to be shot by an arrow as soon as I try.
All right. You creep up to that corner.
All right. I peek around the corner.
You peek around the corner. I'll go ahead and just reveal this whole area for you real quick. This is the
Story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. Well, she looks so sad in photographs. I absolutely love her. No?
Huh?
Roll 20 is hard to use. Okay, there we go. See? Large...
None of you heard that song before?
No. Sorry, Greg, keep going.
So, you see a large, entombment, right? This long hallway here is softly lit in dim light. Each of these dwarven statues going back. You can tell immediately that the one closest to you is oldest, softest in the stone. It seems to have aged the most. The one behind it aged less and less as it goes back. This long hallway here that you see behind has these small open doors in it. Inside of them, you can kind of see along the walls are just shelves and shelves and shelves of entombed bodies, right? There on the ground, strewn upon the ground, are the remnants of clothing, burial shrouds, of bones, and trinkets that are largely worthless. It seems that everything has been ransacked and gone through. You see small holes dug into the walls near you and around this, all of these chambers. The hallway here is largely bereft of rubble and bones or whatnot, but the interior of these little pockets, you can see that they have been picked through and strewn across the ground.
Okay. I guess if I don't see anything moving around in the hallway, it's time to start carefully moving up.
Mm-hmm.
I take a moment thinking, I guess there could be a tripwire, and I'll probably take it pretty carefully. So that I don't see anything down the hallway, and there's a lot of cutoffs. I'm actually going to light up something here. I'll light up my lantern to have better light close to me.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep it low to the ground and try and notice any traps as we're moving along.
So you cast light on your crystal lantern.
Yeah.
And it glows out, giving you a brighter light in the 30 feet.
Yeah, 20 feet of bright light.
So 20 feet around you.
Yeah, and then 20 feet of dim, but we have dim everywhere.
Dim is everywhere, yeah.
So yeah, I just want bright light around me so that I can look for traps, and I figure it's probably fine.
Okay.
We might not have a surprise round, but that's
okay.
okay.
You have improved your conditions as you look for traps. So go ahead and give me another perception check here.
Okay. There we go.
Okay. You see about the same things. Yeah. You don't really notice anything new about your surroundings, but you're fairly certain that in the area around you don't see anything.
Okay. So I'm gonna carefully move up, and when I'm getting close to any of these doorways, I'm gonna cover up the lantern, and then kind of peek inside and see if there's anything in there, and if there's any hostiles, then I guess we go into combat. But I'm gonna try and not give us away too quickly. Mm-hmm. So I'll cover up the lantern if I'm getting close enough to these doors, and then if there's nothing in there, I'll uncover it and move forward a little bit, and on and on.
Okay.
So when Gorik gets, when the rest of the party's moved up and Gorik gets to the point up here where he can see the whole hallway and all of the tombs that have been ransacked and burrowed into, he gets genuinely angry. His brow furrows, and his hands start to shake, and he goes, "Firebringer, we will kill them all." And I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy and make the ground start to quake a little bit. I know I can't make like a proper earthquake, but I'm going to start.
Great time to cut
What
out.
is the area of effect on Thaumaturgy?
Nice.
I don't think it actually says
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
What's the range then? We'll just consider the area of effect of your rumbling, the range.
The
of
range
spell.
is 30 feet.
Okay.
You cause harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute. Is one of the things that it does.
So I'm going to say in the 30-foot radius around you, the ground
Okay.
tremors and shakes. And all of you feel this, right? As he announces he's going to kill them all. The ground begins to shake and rumble around him. Harmless tremors. As you do so, a precariously set bone and some valueless trinkets fall from the ledges the bodies were built into, clattering on the ground. You do hear a kind of like surprised yelp from down this hallway.
Do we get a rough idea of like, is it closed down like in one of these rooms, or like further down? Like maybe down?
Make an investigation check for me.
Sure. Is that intelligence or wisdom?
In this instance, I think it's intelligence, right? You're gauging distance.
Okay, so +1, and then I don't have a bonus for that, so 18.
You think that it is definitely farther down the hall. You would gauge it to be from one of these back couple of rooms, perhaps.
Okay.
I'm pointing with my mouse. You guys can't see my mouse, can you?
No, we cannot.
You think it probably comes from...
You can ping stuff.
You think it probably comes from one of these 4 rooms.
Okay, so the back set of 2 rooms.
Most likely. That's where you think that yelp came from.
All right, I'll relay that I think they're further down to the party. In that case, I probably won't cover up my lantern for these first few rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just kind of carefully creep along the hallway and see if we can sneak up on whatever's down there.
Okay. You begin creeping down the hallway here.
Mm-hmm. Still checking these rooms, even if we're pretty sure nothing was in there.
Uh-huh.
Just better safe than sorry.
Just go ahead and advance.
All right. I assume there's nothing in these rooms right
Yeah,
now.
as you peek into those 2 rooms closest to you, the scene is kind of as described. As you get a clearer view of the walls are just lined like kind of shelf-like with entombed bodies, right? Of like families of this dwarven, I guess they're all members of this dwarven family entombed down in here. There are holes like about half man-sized. They're too small for you to fit into, that have been like honeycombed throughout here irregularly in the walls and the floor. And you see just like bones of various appendages spilled out on the ground, rubble from the digging and mining. Anything of value, for the most part, at least obviously, without further investigation, seems to be gone. Whatever trinkets remain seem to be largely invaluable. Ruined cloths, fake stones, things along those nature. It's just kind of a scene of defilement.
All right, and then I'm gonna keep on sneaking up to this next set.
Okay.
And
You
I see
peer
it's
in
good.
again, largely the same
Yeah.
as you look in. The same scene plays out before your eyes. Just shelves of bodies pulled out, torn apart, looked through, holes drilled into the walls.
All right, we sneak up to the next set.
All right. As you move back about 5 feet there for me,
sure.
or like 1 square, if you will. As you approach that mark right there, you are maybe not surprised, but you are. Oops, I need to have my thing. Layer, token layer. You see this goblinoid creature just whip out from the hall while he was waiting for you. Green-skinned, mottled in blotches and grays and molds and dust around him. You see carrying at his hip, he has a pickaxe and a shovel, but he has right now a wicked-looking bow pulled out. As you approach, he fires a shot at you. With his...
I really wish I had command prepared today. I would
Yeah.
just
I think I do.
to clean up their own damn mess.
He fires a bow at you for 16. His goblinoid arrow bouncing off of your armor. He then races across to this other room and disappears behind the wall. As soon as that happens, this creature does the same, stepping out, firing an arrow at you. For a 13, clattering off your armor and racing over here. And I believe now would be an excellent time to roll initiative against these goblins.
Okay, one thing I have to ask as a question. This whole thing seemed like a scene of defilement, but you noticed all the bodies were like in shelves, right? So theoretically, if I were to send a flaming sphere into these rooms, I wouldn't be like destroying bodies and tombs, would I? Because they're all kind of like in the wall.
Well, they've been pulled out and strewn around on the ground. Any of them that are perfectly still in the wall, maybe you'd have a chance of not like doing any
Okay,
extra
and I'll probably
damage
skip.
to.
I'll probably skip the flaming sphere then.
But yeah, the creature seemed to have been throwing them on the wall. All right, everybody, give me some initiative.
All right, initiative.
Let's cry havoc and roll dice.
Yeah.
All right, Rose, you have a 19. Tom, a 13. We have Gorik with a 7. We have Janlar with a 5, and Sambar is nowhere to be found. Goblins will roll initiative. They have a mighty dos. Goblins go at 18. All right. So, Rose, you are stepping up here. You saw 2 of these creatures whip out of their rooms, fire arrows at Tom, and race across, once again ducking out of sight. Let me throw these. Boom, out of sight. What do you do? How do you respond to this?
I think I'm gonna walk up to... Wait, how far is that? 1 second, I gotta see if that is a proper scale. There...
You can move
Yeah,
about 5 squares. If you treat the individual squares you see as 5 feet for combat, that works fine.
Right. I think I'm gonna walk into this place
Okay.
right here.
You walk into this room here and look. All right, you look around. You see an empty room in front of you, much like the same as you saw before. Bones scattered on the floor, little holes drilled into the walls.
Okay, I'm gonna turn my back to the room then, since there's nothing in here, and I'm gonna use a bonus action to pick up a small pebble from one of the graves, or rather 3 small pebbles, and I'm gonna cast Magic Stone.
All right, you cast magic stone upon the bevels, breathing a magic life into them. They begin to glow in your hands. Is that all you're gonna do in your turn?
I want to prepare an action because that's my bonus action, right? That if I can see one of the goblins, then I'm gonna attack them with my sling.
All right, excellent. That you do. This brings us to the goblin's turn. All right, what are they gonna do? This guy here is going to do this. And he's going to roll a thing. I need to roll this off screen here. All right, what is... I need to know everyone's passive perception, actually.
16.
16 for Tom.
I think my pass is 14.
14.
Yeah, it is.
I have no idea.
15.
15.
10 plus your perception bonus, Dan.
Okay.
And the skill bonus if you have proficiency in it.
Yeah, 9.
9. Okay. You hear the sounds of running feet as this guy does this, this guy comes in here. As he makes his way through this wall, Gorik and Janlar, you see a goblin squeezing his way through one of these holes drilled into the wall. And he comes out here, surprised to see you, and draws his bow and fires it at Janlar. No, he fires it at Gorik. Gorik is the most obvious person here. And he fires an 8 to hit, squawks, and turns around and goes back through the wall. This one here is going to jump out. This one jumps out. Sees Rose. Rose, you see him. You can fling your bullet at him if you wish.
Right, I will. 23.
A 23. That hits. Please roll damage.
8 damage.
For 8 points of damage on this goblin. Ow! This goblin is in pain. Fires back with his bow, trying to return fire. With a 20 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Alrighty, and that does D6 plus 2 damage. His bow strikes you in the fleshy bit in between your hide armor, dealing 4 points of damage. You notice immediately that the bolt he shot you stinks. It reeks of sewage. It seems to be tipped with something horrible. Please make a DC 9 poison save.
Yeah. What's the poison save called?
Constitution save. Against poison.
Make a save versus.
Oh, it's a fail.
All right, please take an additional D4 damage from the rot. 1 point of damage from his thing. He then uses the rest of his movement to run over here and rolls very poorly on his hide check. You're pretty sure he's still there.
Nice.
I was gonna say, if Rose is technically edible, could I cleanse the poison using purify food and drink?
Technically, everybody's edible, okay? If you're brave enough.
No,
that's unfair.
No, you cannot.
You could eat Gorik if you wanted to.
Cannibals.
Rose, did you say technically everyone is edible if you're brave enough?
Yes. I mean, that's what I said, you know.
This guy runs forward. He sees Tom as a more easy shot than Rose. He's going to fire his arrow at him for a 22 to hit.
Holy moly.
He does 8 points of damage to you, Tom. Please make a DC 9 save versus...
The con?
Con save versus poison. You pass. No extra damage to you. He uses the rest of his movement to race over here and try to hide. Very unsuccessfully. In fact, you still see him. His butt's hanging out. This guy steps out and also sees Tom as the best available shot. Fires an arrow with a 10, missing. And he will attempt to race back here as well, disappearing from view. That is the goblinoid's turn. So, Tom, you've been hit with this arrow. You shrugged off the poison damage. You've seen some of them disappear from you. What do you do?
Well, I know there's one pretty close up to us, so I'm gonna run up here into this doorway. That's 1, 2, 3 squares to get to here. And then I'm gonna just kind of head in here 4, and then
okay. As you turn the doorway, you see a very well tucked away in the corner, but not hidden to you, goblin, who had just gone through a hole in the wall.
Yep, we go right here, and I'm gonna swing my mace right at his face.
Alrighty, please roll to hit.
Alright, D20 plus 6 now, I think, because it's strength. No, my strength is +5.
Okay.
So
20 hits.
All right, so he takes d6 plus 3 damage. He takes 8 points of
Takes
damage.
8 points of damage. Your mace comes crashing down into his motley, like, moldy face. Blood trickles down the side. He kind of cowers and begins trying to, like, scramble his way back into the hole he just came from.
And as he's going, like the hand kind of like flies forward, and the spiritual weapon kind of like jumps out of his palm, trying to stab
Ooh.
this guy as he goes out. And I use spiritual.
What was your spiritual weapon again? A scythe?
Spear?
Spear. Okay. Let's get you a nice spear token.
This one plus 6 with an 18 to hit.
All right, that 18 hits. Please roll damage.
All right, 8 plus 3. He takes another 8 points of damage.
All right, with that, he dies. This goblinoid creature just... Oh, I put your spear on the wrong layer. Boom, token layer. This goblin just dies, falls to the ground, impaled by your holy and majestic spear, unleashing a scream of agony as he dies. Yeah. Is there anything else with your turn?
No, that's it.
All right, Goric, you are in this hall, having been shot at by one of the creatures. You hear the death scream of a goblin. What do you do?
Let's see, they're all down there. As a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself
Okay.
to boost my AC up to 17. And then I will. Can I see that one? Is it tucked to around the corner?
This one right here rolled a natural 1 on his hide, so his ass is definitely hanging out around the corner.
Okay.
You can see him.
Well, I'm gonna make his butt roll a wisdom. I never remember what Toll the Dead is. I think it's wisdom save. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
It's a wisdom save. Yep. he needs
All
to make
right.
a
Well,
wisdom.
goblins tend to not to be very wise. He rolls a 4. That is a fail.
He is not taking damage
He
yet, right?
is undamaged.
1d8 because I haven't hit level
No,
5
I am
yet.
incorrect. No. He is damaged. Rose hit him with a stone.
He takes a d12 then. He takes 6.
6 points of damage. He lets out a surprised yelp and then falls over dead as you see the wounds where his stone were ripped open from your Skrillex-esque Toll of the Dead. Boom.
Are there
He dies.
is everything down here stone and there's not any like brass iconography or anything, is there?
Not in this part. You would
Okay.
expect there to be, but no. All that's left seems to be stone and rather worthless trinkets.
Okay.
All right,
Then, yeah,
perfect.
I'll just Skrillex him to death then.
Yeah, he falls over dead in the doorway for you.
And I will also move up 5, 10, 15, 25. I'll move 25 feet up because I'm slow.
All right, you
I'll
move
get
up.
left
That brings us to Janlar. Janlar, you've heard 2 of these creatures just scream in agony and die. What do you do? Gotta unmute yourself first, buddy.
Yep.
There we go.
There's the bingo.
Well, I switched it to. I'm using this new mic, so I can't mute it on my mic. Anyway, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna move forward a little bit.
Okay.
Very far. Here. And I can't see anybody, so. Am I close enough to touch Gort?
Yeah, screw it. Why not? You can reach on your tippy toes, give him a big ol' fingertip him.
Okay, and then I'm gonna cast haste on him.
Ooh, haste. All right. Can you? What does haste look like? We've not seen you cast this before.
That is a good question. I take out a licorice root, and I say a few magical words. I have no idea what haste looks like. I'm gonna say he kind of becomes a little blurry, almost as if he's partially there.
Okay. Yeah.
And then comes back to full view, but at the same time, you can just kind of feel a small presence around him.
Yeah, awesome. You reach out and touch him, and like the cells in Gort's body begin racing, and he begins to like kind of blur to everyone's eyes. Goric, your speed is doubled. You gain a +2 bonus to AC, and you have advantage on dexterity saving throws. And you get one more action each turn. That action can be used only to attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use object.
Okay.
Wow. Is it
I'll
age?
do my best to remind you
No,
of
the aging
Or
thing
my-
doesn't do. You get lethargic after the spell ends, but there's no like penalty aging in this.
Yeah,
game.
you're basically stunned for 1 round afterwards, but you're not actually stunned because then the enemies would have advantage against you.
All right, awesome. So Rose, that brings us back around to you. You see
Yep.
Goric get all like bubbly and blurry at the touch of Janlar, and you've heard the death of 2 goblins. What do you do?
Can I ask, are there... I know you described it already, but were there holes in here too? I think there were, right?
Yes, there were.
So can I try to see if there's a hole through which I can see this goblin in the other room over
All
there?
right, you turn around, and to your complete surprise, as you turn
Lovely.
around and
And
look,
then the room is just full. There's just 12 goblins right there.
one of the goblins had snuck through one of the holes in the door and was hiding here patiently, waiting to stab you in the back. But
Right.
he ran out of action economy. So you turn around and you see him poised, waiting for his AP to refill. What do you do?
Well, is he in melee range of me? No, she's still further than 5 feet away, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna turn around and with a surprised yelp, just gonna fire another stone at him.
All right.
Oh dear. Okay. Whoop! My d20 just reloaded.
Oh no.
Please hold the line.
Okay.
Pull out that physical die.
27. Okay.
27 definitely
I take
hits.
it,
Please
yeah.
roll some
Yes.
damage.
Well, it's just 6 damage, but it's something.
6 points of damage on this guy. He's hurting. He takes it, ah! Surprised that you turned around and saw him, and takes the damage. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
I'm gonna leave this room, I think. So,
Okay.
wait, 5 squares, you said. 3, 4, 5. Okay,
Okay.
I'm here now.
Awesome.
I'm also looking into this direction, so.
All right. So that brings us to the goblins' turns. You see this
yeah.
one that you just hit with a bow. Step, and is going to aim said bow. I guess he steps this direction instead, and aims his bow out in this hallway, trying to hit you back for that stone to the face. He did not like that. He shoots a 7 and misses. He then turns and with the rest of his movement runs through a hole in the wall and disappears on the other side. Boom. You see this goblin similarly disappear. And for a brief moment, everything is silent. What do you do?
I'll start off by casting a healing spell on myself.
Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're the next in action economy. Yes. You
Oh
cast a
yeah,
healing
we're
spell on
we're sticking
yourself.
with turn orders then.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, I'm gonna heal myself. I gain
Alright.
back 5. After that, so not 54, 24. My spiritual weapon moves 20 feet per round. Am I able to like grab it and move it?
I will give
Personal.
you that option.
Because like if I could just like wrap my arms around it, say like
Can you grab it and move it?
Yeah, because
I
it
don't
moves
see why
slower
not.
than I do. Could I just be like a transportation vehicle for my spiritual weapon?
I don't see why not. That seems very reasonable to me.
All right, I'll grab my spiritual weapon and move it up with me, and I'll head over 1.
Is the weapon supposed to be like a spiritual weapon though? Like, is it like an actual formed weapon? Is it that you can hold?
I think it's supposed to be like magical and radiant. Yeah, but I think that's cool that he can grab it. Why not?
Maybe he's the
sure.
only one who can, right?
It
He should
makes
be the only one who can actually grab it.
Yeah,
it's
that
like
makes-
Mjolnir. Like,
I like the idea of clerics grabbing their spiritual weapons and running with them. So I'm totally cool.
And
with
it works, but it's also like balanced.
By the way, you have control over
It
that
has to
spear.
stay
You can
with
move
me
it
then.
around now.
Yeah. All right, so it's right here with me, and I'm gonna like take a look at this. I can't go any further this round, but I'm like getting ready to kill whatever comes through this hole in the wall, if anything comes.
Okay. All right, you do that. That is your turn. That brings us around to Gorik. Gorik,
Okay.
you are hasted. What do you do?
well, they all ran away. So we knew there was one in this room, right?
There was.
I'm at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and my speed is doubled. 30, 35 to right here.
Okay.
Can I see anything in this room?
You peer in that room. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 1d20 plus 4.
You see Zippo.
I see nothing.
You are enraged by the remains of your, like, not specifically your ancestors, but dwarven ancestors laying in disrepair upon the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna cross back over to there and look into this room then.
Okay. Same deal. You
Okay.
do not see anything out of the
In that case, I will. I'm not still within distance of Rose, so 2d20. Oops. 2d20. There we go. I'm about to roll 2d0. -1. Nope.
Actually, I would have had to roll a con save for that stuff as well, right? 1d20.
Did you get hit?
Yeah, I did.
Nope,
Oh,
I
okay.
did that backwards.
Your con save is successful. No poison for you.
No, that was mine. I just
Oh,
rolled.
okay.
I haven't seen Faye roll yet. So
No, I had to roll for the concentration, is what I mean, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So I accidentally kept the highest one instead of dropping the highest one. So I take my extra hasted action
Uh-huh.
to roll a hide check. I get a
Okay.
6.
Okay. You're just
Works.
hiding like in the hallway right where you are.
Yeah, I'm like in the doorway.
You just like crouch
I take-
down like no one can see me.
Yeah. So there's a 6 for my hide there, and then for my action, I don't even know, man. Like I don't have any targets to target. So I guess I'll hold an action, so I can do that. I will hold an action to cast Toll the Dead on the next goblin that I see.
Okay, sounds good. That is your turn. Janlar, what do you do?
And you're muted.
No, I'm not. I'm just making sure I'm not muted before I talk.
It's just enough delay after he says Janlar that I'm just like, Dan must be muted.
No, not this time. I can't really see anything. I'm not gonna stay where I'm at. Actually, I guess I'll take out a copper coin. Yeah, copper coin and cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. What is the range on Detect Thoughts?
Not very far.
Will the walls block it too?
Probably.
I think it's only 30 feet when I'm using it when I can't see people.
Okay.
'Cause it's different. It's only self, but then when I use it in this kind of other method, it's different.
Does your haste end? Is Detect Thoughts concentration?
Oh wait, Detect Thoughts is I'm still gonna do Detect Thoughts because
Okay,
Thoughts
so
within
it'll
30
send me
feet of you,
around.
2 feet of rock or 2 inches of metal other than lead. Block it.
yeah.
So if the walls are more than 2 feet thick, you won't be able
2
to detect anything through it.
Yeah, then
No, yeah,
if-
2 feet, 2 feet.
What
Knowing that-
what
knowing
if they
that, I
have
wouldn't
holes,
cast it.
though?
Knowing that, I wouldn't cast the thing because I guess
Yeah,
'Cause they do have holes, right?
look 2 feet to me.
this looks like way more than 2 feet to me. Yeah, I guess I would just hold my action then. It's not
Okay, you stand where you are and hold your action. Rose, you see your
Yeah.
companions bracing themselves for some further attack. You don't have any sight of these goblins. What do you do?
So are you still concentrating on haste then, Chandler?
Yeah.
Okay.
My turn concentrating.
They all disappeared in the same direction, I guess, which is weird. I'm just gonna cast a good old healing word on myself, I guess.
All right.
And then I'm gonna move a little bit. 1 second.
I guess I should specify Tom is kind of giving chase here. Like he's not slowly moving. I used full move. I'm like going for this hole in the wall.
Mhm.
Right.
Is that
So I'm gonna wait. In which direction are you walking? You're like going down here.
I'm going down. There was a hole in the wall right here, so I'm like running down here.
Oh, I figured it was a rather small hole. Would he fit through that? I've seen that, right?
Yeah,
Has
so
it been in
the
that
holes
room?
that are built on the wall seem about half man size. Like, you could not
I mean, I can probably
squeeze through
scrunch
them.
through them, right?
Huh?
I could probably like scrunch through them, right? Like
You
crouch my
could
way
not. They are too small of a hole for a full-sized creature. Right?
Oh.
These smaller goblins seem to be able to get through them.
Do I
Okay.
think that Goric would fit?
No, you think Goric is a medium-sized creature and cannot fit. Like,
Okay.
It's the beer. It's the beer, Tommy.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's probably and anything else.
Can I move myself 2 spaces to the side to account for diagonal movement then? If that's
Sure.
a hole in
yeah,
the slide.
go for it.
Spear's gonna go this way instead.
All right, so you move over there, and you just kind of go on sentinel.
I'm running. I'm heading for the end of this hole. I want to chase him down.
You're gonna chase down the end of the hall. Okay, how far can you get?
I already went my turn. Like that's.
You
Okay,
move
I'm
like
just gonna
an inch.
walk with them. 2, 3, 4, 5.
We're
So
gonna
you
chase
took
him
a
down this
dash
hall.
action, and you moved 2 squares.
No, I healed myself. That was my action.
You healed yourself, and then you moved. Okay. All right. Okay. Sure. That sounds good. That brings us to goblin turns. These two doing their thing. This guy, he is gone for now. Wait, how far can he get exactly? Yeah, he can get out of here. This guy disappears. Okay. Goblins have done their thing.
All right. That brings me
Tom,
up again.
that brings us. Your turn happened, I guess. You just moved.
Oh no, I went before. I was moving like the 2 spaces over from last turn because I was like going under the assumption I'd be going through that hole in the wall.
Oh, okay. So that was
That's
your
why I'm
end of your
fighting.
movement from last. That's why you moved
Yeah.
2 spaces. I was very
Yeah,
confused.
because I would have gone a slightly different direction.
Okay, okay. Tom, it's your official turn. That makes
Okay.
sense.
2, 3, 4, 5. I can go 5 and I can dash for 10. So 6, 7, 9, 10. And I'm here.
All right. The moment you get there, 2 goblins spring out, having prepared their ambush with
Are they
obvious.
in melee range? for
They are
this?
within melee range.
Perfect. I let go of the spear.
All right, sounds good. They jump out with their prepared actions to ambush you. They have advantage with their excrement-tipped scimitars slashing down at you.
Wait, they get advantage?
Yes, because they hid and were ambushing. They
Weren't we in
successfully
combat,
hid with
though?
a 22 and a 24, so your passive did not see them.
I see.
You get hit with a 24 and a crit, and the other one with a 22. So,
I'm gonna flashbang. I was gonna say I'd flashbang after
oh,
that crit.
okay. After
So-
the crit?
Yeah, so that'd just be a regular attack.
Okay.
If you want to re-roll it, that's fine.
Sure. So the flashbang gives you
It
disadvantage.
just become a normal attack because he has advantage, but then it becomes disadvantage. So then
Okay.
it can't-
So that'll be an 11. So that one misses.
Okay.
But the other one hits for a 22. So you will
so I
take.
the crit.
Huh?
So I take the crit. Yeah.
You don't take the crit. You take the 7.
I don't think he can flashbang after.
Yeah. I can't flashbang after the result. That's why I was saying like before the second one came in, I wanted to flashbang it once I saw the first one was a crit.
Oh, okay. All right. So you
Yeah.
take the crit,
I
and
have to
then
take
the other
crit.
one
I
will
can't-
miss.
I can't get out of that. Yeah.
All right. That sounds good to me. So I want you to make one save versus poison, DC 9 Constitution save.
That's a fail.
You fail. So you're going to take 6 points of slashing damage from the scimitar, and then you are also going to take a additional 1 point of poison damage from their excrement-tipped scimitars. Now it is your turn as you rush down here.
Bonus action. I already used my action. So
You already
just
used
the
your
spear
action.
attack.
Okay.
The spear is gonna stab, I guess, this guy right here.
Perfect. Your majestic spear races forward to stab at him with an 11 to hit and misses. And the like leather armor of the modeled goblins just barely turns it aside. You see a large gash stuck into it. And I believe that's the end of your turn then?
Yep.
Okay, that brings us to Gorik. Gorik, you see these goblins jump out and slash at Tom as he turned to the corner. What do you do?
So, when that first one jumps out, he triggers my reaction to Toll the Dead, right?
Perfect. Yes, I forgot to that. You react with Toll of the Dead, please.
So yeah, that first goblin needs a wisdom save.
Yes, sir. We have D20 minus 1. That is a 17.
So he actually passes.
Okay.
And then I will move up, and I will make 2 attacks with my mace.
Okay, perfect. Roll the hit.
2d20 plus bonus plus proficiency. 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 4. So a 13 and a 16.
13 and 16 both hit.
Okay. R 2d8 plus. Nope. Mace isn't a d8, it's a d6 apparently. 2d6 plus 4. I'm just going to add all of my damage.
Sounds good.
He takes 10.
He takes 10 points of damage, and he lives. Remarkably so. You crush down on him once, crush down on him twice. You see blood just running down his mottled, moldy face. But he still cowers there, like, breathing, but uncertain. Definitely looks very dead. Or, like, very, like, on the way dead. Very
it looks like it's going to be dead soon.
He looks like he's going to be dead very soon.
Yeah.
The light
Very
breeze
dying.
might get him.
He looks very dying.
Very dying.
Very
yeah.
dying, yes, yes. All right, that ends Gorik's turn. Janlar, you see Gorik race up, hasted, slamming his mace into these creatures. What do you do?
I make sure I'm not muted, and then I walk forward. I can't really. I shouldn't be able to cast Firebolt or anything through them at these goblins, right?
I don't believe in 5e there's any penalty for firing through your own.
They would get
PC
cover, I
allies.
think.
Yeah, they would get cover.
You can give the goblins cover. From
I'll go ahead and give them like a cover for that. They are small creatures versus your medium-sized friends.
I think normally it says not to because it assumes that people are like circling in
Yeah.
combat, but in this it's pretty static.
Yeah,
I agree.
I doubt they would circle around
I
you.
think it's also because for Firebolt, you don't have to see the target, right? It doesn't state yet you need to see him, so you can just shoot them from above, technically. Or from
I think
behind,
you
even
have
if
to
you wanted
see
to.
them. I think it requires
No,
the
like
target.
Fireball doesn't state it. Usually it says somebody you can see within range or something.
Because
Fireball
it's an
doesn't have
attack,
that.
so you shoot the firebolt directionally.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead and fire away. You can do firebolt if you want. Oh, an 8 does not hit. Trying not to hit your companions, your firebolt goes wide, striking into like the wall at the side of Tom's head. All right. Anything else you want to do with your turn? Okay, perfect. That is it. Rose, you see these two jump out and like try to stab at Tom. What do you do?
I can't really attack him from here because I can't see him, so I'm gonna squeeze past Jandar, I guess.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to shoot this one with my last pebble.
Okay.
8. I believe it's 24.
24. That'll hit, and you're trying to get that injured one.
9 damage.
Any amount of damage kills him. So, your stone buries deep in a soft, fleshy bit of him, and he just lies on the ground in front of Gorik, just gasping his last breath before dying.
Sweet. And that's all I do.
All right, perfect. That brings us to the goblins. This goblin takes his bonus action to disengage, rushes through a hole in this wall, and then runs out of sight.
All right, I pick my spear back up, and it's back to the chase.
Alrighty,
I'm gonna
excellent.
cast Cure Wounds as a second level spell here on myself as well.
Okay, you can cast Cure Wounds as your action, and then move. It is your turn.
Yeah, and then I get 5 tiles, pick the spear up, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll peek around the corner now that I'm right here.
Okay. You peek around this corner here. You can see that there's a hallway leading. There is a hallway leading down here that ends in a T that goes this way. The edge of the map, there's nothing that goes past this way. We just ran out of space on Roll20. This ends in a dead end. And then there's a similar hall
there's
up
nothing
here.
like actually here.
Yeah. That's just like the end of this room, but Roll20 ran out of space.
Okay, are these stairs here?
No.
Okay, so this is everything past here is just dead.
It's like a wall, yeah, basically.
Okay. So I don't see like a goblin
As you
up
move
here.
up that direction, Tom, Gorik is gonna shout to you. Be careful, Tom. They might be trying to lead you into a trap.
I like it.
So let's spring the trap. I don't see a goblin like up here, do I?
No, you do not.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get ready to start creeping down here when my next turn comes up.
Okay, this sounds good. That is Tom's turn. Gorik, after yelling very rapidly at Tom, what do you do?
I don't know that I have much alternative but to follow him, to be honest, unless we try and pull them into one of these other rooms. I will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Anything new that I can see from here?
You see the same thing Tom does, right?
All right.
The hall it goes in either direction before it hits a T down in here. You see more rooms like this.
Okay, I'm gonna move to there then and see what's in this like room up the staircase. Unless Dwarven temples all have like a generic.
Oh, I'm
footprint.
sorry, Tom. These are stairs right here.
Oh, okay.
These are the hallway ends. The hallway ends here. There are
okay.
stairs up to one other room here.
Okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was zoomed in funny on the map. But this is right here, the end.
Okay.
But there are stairs that lead up here and stairs that lead up here to an elevated room. As you look in, Gorik, you see a pile of rubble where it seems like a pendulum trap was hastily set up, dismantled, set up again, and fallen over. There are scars along the ground and walls where pendulums have swung, and there are a score of dead and decaying goblins underneath the rubble of this place. It seems like they are in various states of freshness. They are, some of them skeletalized, some of them still like rotting and decaying, some of them in between.
Does it look like they were killed by the pendulum trap, or they like?
Very much so. In fact, one of them actually looks like they got killed by crushing, like by the whole thing coming down on them.
What does the and do any of them look like they've been killed within the last like anything recent, or are they all pretty?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. 20. Where's my investigation? 12.
Yes. The most recent one seems to have been like well over a few months old.
Okay.
Right. It would have been. It was the one that seems to have been crushed to death. He's still in the like heavy decaying process, but he seems like less like a 1,000-year-old corpse and more like within
somewhat recent
recent history.
Does the pendulum trap look like it's of like goblinoid construction?
Very much so.
Okay. So they killed themselves with their own pendulum trap somehow.
Yes.
Okay.
That seems to be what you gather from this.
All right. And I don't see any goblins in here. So, I guess I hold my action to toll the dead the next goblin I see again, because I used my extra action to dash to get over here.
Okay.
No, I didn't even have to do that because
you have double movement.
Because I have double movement, so I'll use my extra action to hide.
Okay. Please give me a hide check.
20, drop highest one.
Janlar.
this one.
It is your turn. You see Gorik race over here and begin investigating some passageway down here. Tom seems to be in the chase of a goblin that escaped behind him. What do you do?
So I roll a 2 on my stealth, and I hold an action to Toll the Dead.
Nice. Alrighty.
Well, not seeing any of these goblins, and the fact that they're goblins, I think Tom and Gork can handle themselves. So I'm just gonna slowly just kind of walk forward down this hallway.
Chandler just
I'm not gonna use my full movement.
Chandler just chilling. Just like, nah, it's cool, dog. All right, that's your turn. Rose, you see Chandler just kind of begin his walk down the hall while everyone else is racing after the goblins. What do you do?
I'm still gonna hustle, I think. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double movements. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
All right.
Okay.
You race down the hall trying to get in with Tom. That brings us to Goblin turn. This guy has seen that you guys are very tough, and he's going to... If I can get my... God, roll 20 is tough to deal with. All right. He's going to hustle actually through a different hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Phrasing.
Yes. He is gone. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cut our combat. Tom, you race around this corner, and a quick investigation shows that whatever was there is gone. And for the moment, you are relatively certain that you are no longer threatened by goblins in this area. Do you have any immediate actions to take as you, like...
Yeah, looking around, do I see any holes that, like, go... Like, we know that they have holes that connect here and stuff like that, but I figure Janlar might have caught that if he ran out into that hallway. So are there any holes like in these walls that go into like a tunnel somewhere deep, far away? Okay. Yes. So the guy that we dealt with ran out from here. So are there any in like either this room or this room?
Every single one of these rooms that you put your head into, you see honeycombed irregularly with these small holes.
Ooh, okay, we're gonna take a bit of a gamble here. I'm gonna use a light cantrip and throw a stone as far into this opening as I can.
How far can you throw?
That's a great question. I can throw a good few 100 feet, but I play baseball, so...
How far can you throw into a small hole that's not really at your shoulder
height? That's a good point.
Height,
probably
right?
Closer, I would say at max about... With rolling, I'd say probably about 150 feet, assuming it's relatively straight.
Throw. All right, I think that's a difficult throw to make. So, I want you to make an athletics check because you're.
Yeah, should we just like roll for distance?
You're crouching down, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And like kind of side arming this into a small hole that may or may not turn. You're not sure.
Sure.
So I want you to make an athletics check to like.
Do you want to set like a base and then modify based on the roll?
I think that it's simply like at DC 15. You will throw it exactly 100 feet. You could throw it all the way through this hole. Under that, it gets stuck somewhere in between.
Okay. Let me check if I have... I don't have athletics. I just have the +3 from strength. 13.
All right. You throw it. Give it the best you can. It sails through here and clatters around somewhere in this area. In between nowhere. You see a large tunnel.
So the reason I wanted to do that is my fireball can go out up to 150 feet. Mm-hmm. I'm going to send it all the way to that stone because it will fill up a space. So if it's in this narrow tunnel, it's going to take up a lot of space when it explodes. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to send the fireball.
I'm happy I'm still in the back right there with
a fireball down this hole. It's probably, maybe I'm just a little too old school, but I like that Chewy style fireball.
As far as you can throw it, 95.
It's like a golf ball.
Like it's going to be 20 feet beyond your light stone, right? So you're going to throw it 95 feet is the farthest point you can see.
I threw it, how far? I threw it 75 feet?
Yeah.
The stone?
So you threw it somewhere in here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 95 feet would be the edge of my vision. So I send it down that 95 feet and hope that it's going to reach like a goblin when it explodes. And I like jump to the side to avoid any like...
And sure enough, a column of fire erupts in this tunnel.
Yeah.
and you get a small backdraft, but not as much as you expect. You expect that a lot of your fire erupted in some other side of this tunnel, as if it were any closer to you. You expect a large backdraft, but again, you smell burning ozone waft over you as there's this whoosh, and then silence as the fire erupts through this tunnel.
Okay.
And with that, we've been doing this for about an hour, a little bit more. Let's go ahead and take our first break, about 5 minutes. We'll come together, get our heads back into it after that. See you in a few, everybody. Peace.